Why are you letting how you feel determine what decisions you make? This is something I dealt with for a long time. This is something I definitely overthought for a long time. But also at the same time, it's something that I've been talking to with a friend recently. So I've been really able to focus on this topic and finally be able to make a video on it. So I think what happens, especially when we look at motivation or, if there's something we need to do, we go, well, I don't feel like doing that right now. And it's like, why do you base what you're doing on your feelings? It's like you're almost never going to feel like doing the things that you have to do. So what we want to do is we want to start eliminating that from the equation and start stepping into doing what needs to be done regardless of how you feel about it. It really is that simple. It just takes a long time to train yourself to do that because we have all these things in the way. We have all these excuses and reasons not to, when we only have that one reason to do the thing is because it needs to be done. And when we start to look at things from that practical, logical perspective, it becomes a lot easier to accomplish tasks because we're like, okay, well, this needs to get done, so I'm just going to do it. And when it's done, then I can move on to the next thing. And then, the thoughts and the feelings are going to come up. Well, I don't really feel like doing that right now. Well, here's the part where you start to just ignore that. When that happens and that voice starts to say, I don't feel like it, I'm just not in the mood. You go, yeah, I know you're not in the mood, but we're going to do it anyways. So you'll have this back and forth with yourself, and then you're finally, the better part of you is going to start winning and go, all right, I'm just going to get it done. And then it's like any other muscle that you train that muscle. And what happens is you just start automatically doing this. It's awesome. It's the coolest thing is you'll start to feel like, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't feel like doing this. You'll hear that thought and it'll just come and go. You won't even notice it after a while. It'll just happen and you'll be like, well, I'm just going to go anyways. Because what happens is on the other side of it is we go, oh, okay, I don't feel like doing this right now. I want to take a nap. I want to watch TV. I want to take a bath. I want to do this, that, and the other thing. We'll come up with 10 million other things that we would rather do than that one thing. And we start looking at it negatively. If I do that, well, then this is going to happen, and B is going to happen, and C is going to happen. And you just look at all that emotional energy that we're wasting and mental energy we're wasting just fighting ourselves, when if we just accomplish the task, we'll not only save energy, we'll probably gain energy. So what's going on with my friend right now is he's got a roommate, he's got a dog, and the roommate really isn't taking care of the dog as well as he should have. The dog's not getting out and things like that. But what's happening is it's causing behavioral problems that's causing issues with my friend. And my friend really doesn't know how to handle it, and you can't really just step in and, take better care of your dog. So what I did is I encouraged him to start walking the dog, start getting exercise. And that will automatically take care of the needs that the dog has as far as, peeing and pooping and going out. And what that does is that creates a backdoor approach for the dog owner, the roommate, because he can start to see a change in his dog, that his dog is doing better, and he's going to want to get on board with that. Because on the other side of it, what happens is, oh, I don't feel like walking that person's dog. It's not my dog. It's not my problem. I don't have to deal with these things. See, we come up with all these excuses and reasons not to. But then if we just look at the simple fact, the dog has to go outside to go to the bathroom. So when we look at it from that simple perspective, then we can just go ahead and take care of what needs to be done, regardless of the situation. And what's going to happen is it's going to lead to a better outcome. Yeah, we don't want to just tell somebody you're doing your handling your dog wrong and handling your pet wrong. So what we want to do is lead by example. And that's the best way to lead by example, is by showing them that we're going to do what we need to do regardless of how we feel about it. But we're not going to make an issue about it. We're going to let them kind of start to open up to their terms themselves. Because that's what happens with people. We're all doing the same thing. We don't want to do certain things because we don't feel like it. We don't want to take that extra effort to hold the door open for somebody or to let somebody in traffic. It's all those little things that when you have that initial thought, do it, just do it because it needs to be done. Your subconscious is telling you what needs to be done and you're not listening because you're listening to your emotions. And that's not how it works. See, you let the subconscious tell you what to do. Your intuition will always tell you exactly what to do instantaneously. You never have to think about it. So if you find yourself thinking about it, you're coming from the wrong frame of mind and you might end up making the wrong decision. So what we learn to do is we learn to trust that inner voice that tells us when to go, we go. We just go. We don't have to go, oh, I don't feel like it. Well, my feelings. Why do you care so much about your feelings? Why don't you just drop that a little bit and just start taking more action and start getting more out of life and more fulfillment? Because what's going to happen is you might not feel like doing something, but guess what happens? You start doing that thing and then all of a sudden you feel like doing it. It's like going for a hike. A lot of times I don't want to go for a hike. I just want to, hang out and do my thing. But once I'm out here for 5-10 minutes and my breath is going and my muscles are loose and I'm warmed up and I'm smiling and the air smells really good, then I want to keep hiking and I don't want to stop. So we always have to look at what's on the other side of it. We're always on the side before taking action, and we'll come up with all these things that we think is going to happen at the other end of it, but we won't know until we get there. So the best thing we can do is come into it with a clear head, so that when we get to that situation, we'll be able to handle it appropriately. If we don't feel like doing something, we'll carry that energy into doing it. I mean, have you ever had to deal with somebody who's been reluctant? Have you been reluctant? And that's where it's coming from. It's like, I don't want to do this thing that needs to be done. And if we just simply just attack it, get it done, and accomplish the task, then it's going to make life so much easier. So I encourage you to see where you're allowing certain things inside of you to keep you from getting done what needs to be done throughout the day, and just start working on eliminating that and just take care of stuff and just build that muscle. Have a great day.